For the portfolio project, you'll want to be editing the portfolio project template found in week 1 of our course. So for part 1, um, there's um, there's several questions here, but the calculations down here, these are numbers that you find. Gross monthly pay, that would be just taking your annual salary and dividing it by 12. Your monthly net pay, we're just going to use 20% for taxes, so you just take this amount and reduce it by 20%. So if you made $2,500 per month, to reduce it by 20% quickly, just multiply it by 0.8 because you get 80% of your salary that way. Okay, and then they ask you to fill out this part, so all you have to do here is take however much you have budgeted for your rent or your mortgage payment, and then divide it by that gross monthly pay that we have up here, and that will be the percentage that's going to housing. So let's say our $2,000 is our take-home pay. Let's say housing is $800. So the percent of our money that goes to housing is found by taking 800, dividing it by that 2,000. Oh, sorry, 800 divided by 2,000, and then you multiply by 100 to finish converting it to a percent. So that'd be 40%. Okay, and then there's some suggestions for what you can have here. You don't have to use your actual rent and things like that. You can make estimates. So you'd be making a pie chart at this part. There's a video here that links to YouTube. If you can't click the video, hold Control, and then you should be able to click on that link. But there's plenty of videos on YouTube for making a pie chart. And then this part, you're going to fill out the 50-30-20 rule, which is saying that 50% of your money should be on needs, 30% on wants, and 20% on savings. Okay, so there's a lot of this that involves your own opinion. So that was part 1. For part 2, you're asked to calculate your debt-to-income ratio. So a lot of this is just words responses, but for the actual calculation on part B, all you have to do is do 10 times your annual salary. And then for part C, calculating your retirement savings, there's also instructions on here on how to make those calculations. It's if you're trying to do a really complicated calculation, then that means you've misinterpreted something. You'll want to go back there relatively quick. Like part D just is 6 times your monthly expenses. That's your emergency fund. Okay. And then for part 3, talking about mortgage monthly payments. So part A is 2 to 3 sentences. Part B, research houses of interest. This is where you go on Zillow and you just try to find houses that you're interested in. Part C. Okay, so this part involves a calculation. Calculate the monthly payment for each house with 5%. Actually, I think Zillow does that now. But if it doesn't, all you have to do is go to this website. That's not something that you have to calculate on your own. Part D. They want you to calculate the housing ratio for each house. So all you have to do for this is take how much the first house is going to cost you per month and divide it by your monthly pay. So let's say the first house would cost you $1,200 and your monthly pay was $2,500. So your ratio would be 48%. So that's all you have to do for that part for each house. Total amount paid over the 30 years, all you have to do is take whatever monthly payment that you calculated using that website for your house and then multiply it by 12, because that would be for a full year's payment on the house, and then multiply that result by 30 because they're saying for 30 years. And so the interest paid, all you have to do is take your answer from this part and subtract it by the house cost, the original cost of the house. So let's say on part E, part I, you got $300,000 was how much it was going to cost for those monthly payments, but the house only cost $150,000, so it means $150,000 went to interest. Then closing costs, you just have to find 5% of the home cost. So if your home costs $150,000, that's your closing cost estimate. And then this is an opinion on part G.